Here at the Photonics 21 annual meeting, I'm with the senior business developer and a very important person for the photonics industry, René Heideman. René, it was great to see you here. What are your main takeaways of the meeting so far?
There are several. First of all, there's really a focus for chip technology, which means there's ample room for integrated photonics to create its own place next to the semicon chip industry. So that's one thing. And the other thing is that the majority of the photonics applications will have to strive to gain a place in different initiatives. So that will be tough.
A few years ago, they already told us, they warned us that photonics was a key enabling technology for other applications.
At the heart of our investment in photonics will be the public-private partnership. In just a few days, on the 17th of December, I will sign that partnership alongside the Photonics 21 Association, which represents more than 1,000 industry, research and academic players. This photonics partnership is a crown jewel of Horizon 2020. It will particularly emphasize faster innovation processes and quicker time to market. And it will look at the entire innovation and value chain, from advanced materials to manufacturing, from advanced research to technology take-up, from pilot production lines to demonstrations. In the coming years, I hope this partnership can bring us a European photonics industry that is stronger, more competitive, and more innovative.
So far, the main message is that we need to go to these other applications to push our photonics technology. And one of them is Semicon and the CHIPS Act. How do you see this affecting the development of companies like LioniX?
That's a good question, Jose. So, first of all, LioniX, being a vertically integrated company, will have to divert its attention to different application fields. We always did since we became vertically integrated. The first 16 years of our existence, we were chip producers, a foundry. So, from that point of view, the majority of what we do is fabrication of chips. So we can use the focus on integrated photonics as a chip technology.
On the other hand, yesterday they also told us that we need to make sure that in Europe we set the right volumes, that ultra high volume production was not really for Europe. That was the mentality of the meeting. Do you agree?
I think we have to fight for that place. I think Europe should try to get to high volumes, and I think especially for photonics there is still place to gain the number one position in the world. So we should not already give up on that. Maybe the 20 millimeter facilities which are around right now are not giving enough volume for the moment, but in 5 years maybe we should expand that possibility and extend the wafer size also from that moment on. But for the moment, I think if you focus on 20 millimeters, you still can be number one for the whole world production for photonics industry.
The main trend right now, and also what is indicating the CHIPS Act, is that photonics is really a semicon technology. What we're seeing in other parts of the world is that integrated photonics is manufactured now by companies like Global Foundries, by Intel, by every large semiconductor manufacturer. We heard TSMC is now having a silicon photonics line. Do you think that's the future for us? Companies like LioniX have to become semiconductor-oriented companies, or is the photonics business enough to maintain and let us grow on the pace that we should?
I think it's the latter, because in the end, people will see the economic rules will show that photonics and electronics are not on the same scale. The scale of a transceiver is transistor is much smaller than the scale of a typical photon. That means that you need different lithography tools and also a different platform from my point of view. So the combination of electronics with photonics will be very, very strong. But I think the future will show that there is plenty of room for individual photonic fabrication companies.
In many of the applications, LiDAR, for example, we have been constantly told that our technology, photonics technology, is too expensive. And the way to make it cheaper is to go to larger wafers, to larger volume. Do you think that's the role for the European Commission, to make sure that we can decrease the cost of our technology by economy of scale?
I think we have to, because the market will decide. You can claim that you should be number one in a specific application field or a technology field, but in the end, the market will decide, and the customers decide what they will pay for components. And if there is a competitor elsewhere in the world which can do the same job but for a lower price, they will choose for that.
It was told here at the meeting that we have a communication problem to talk to the right figures, the right decision makers, the right policy makers. What do you think the suppliers of public and also private funds don't understand about photonics?
The main problem is indeed communication, and that's because 10 years ago, Photonics was number one on the technology platform to be pushed by the European Union. But you cannot keep the same position because, well, people are people, and people tend to rush to new focus points. Artificial intelligence was one of them. Robotics was another one, and there are plenty of them. And so quantum, of course. So you cannot stay in the focal point forever. So you have to use what's available, and it is we simply have to live with the fact that we should adapt us to what's available within Europe and to get as much as possible out of that.
And to the focus point, right now we have a huge trend for hybrid integration, hybrid lasers. That's an area in which LioniX is investing heavily. Could you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so LioniX has put a lot of effort in creating a silicon nitride platform, and our own commercialized platform is called Triplex. We exist since 2001, and we were the first to focus on that. The one problem with silicon nitride is that it's not active, so you have to do a lot to make real modules, real products out of it. And that means you have to integrate in one way or another the active components, the detectors, etc., to make interesting products for customers.
Yeah.
So we thrive by the fact that we have to combine silicon nitride in one way or another, and the hybrid integration from our point of view, or a chiplet approach, from my perception, that's exactly the same, is the only way to success.
And the future for us is these chiplets, this integration of very low loss waveguides, active material, electronics, everything to solve and to unite all the industries. René, thank you very much. It was great to see you here, and I hope to see René and everyone else on the 1st and 2nd of October in Malaga to discuss these very important issues for the photonic industry. See you there.
Thank you very much.